Good morning, friends. Welcome to GoOnlineTrainings.com. So we are going to be talking about SQL Azure today, which is a cloud-based platform. Okay, so cloud is very important these days. Why cloud computing is important? Why many companies are choosing from on-premises environment to cloud, environments, and what are the features are available as part of Azure, as part of the cloud. Who are all the companies who are into this business? All these things we're going to be discussing today. So before that, we wanted to understand, people wanted to enroll for this course. We need your full name and with the surname and the city, and course you can write SQL Azure, and your email ID, personal email ID is required, and your WhatsApp phone number we require. Send these details to 93981 18506. What is that we're going to be covering today? So we'll be covering, so what is Azure and what is the cloud computing? So this is introduction to cloud. So that is the first one we're going to be talking about, intro to Azure or introduction to cloud. So that is what we're going to be discussing. And later we'll have an introduction to Azure portal. And as part of Azure resources, we'll have Azure Data Factory ADF, Azure SQL DB, and Azure Data Lake Storage, and Azure Key Vaults, and some more things we're going to be covering. So detailed course content will be sent in a separate email. You can just walk through that. And live scenarios in ADF, Azure Data Factory, real-time scenarios, live scenarios is going to be covered. And 2 live projects are included in this session, and the complete course duration will be 35 hours. Clear? Mr. Ramesh is going to be taking these classes. He's a real-time guy. He's having approximately 10 plus years of experience in the IT industry. Last 5 years is completely working with SQL Azure, Data Factory, and Azure Data Lake, completely into cloud side. He's going to be, teaching you the complete session on Azure platform. So before understanding Azure, we have to understand what is a cloud and why cloud is very important, and why many IT companies are going to go to the cloud. That is what you need to understand. Clear? So if you wanted to get into Azure technologies or cloud technologies, first of all, you have to know who are the people who are eligible for this technology, right? So if you ask me, any degree guys can understand this technology. Any degree means we're talking about BA, BCom, or BSc, or you can have BTech all branches, BTech all branches. So we have MCA and MSc, right? MCA, MSc, MBA candidate. Any people who wanted to come into the IT industry, they can easily understand the Azure. So the simplest thing is that, intermediate people. So if you ask me, who can understand Azure means any intermediate +2 guys, actually they can understand, but +2 guys will not be able to get job. So definitely you need to have a degree. Clear? So, but to understand Azure, what is that you have to know? Compulsorily, you have to know SQL in depth. So we are going to be talking about SQL Server in depth. So this is what is that you have to learn, before learning Azure. Or parallelly also, you can have SQL Server, classes. You can take it parallelly, and Azure also you can take it parallelly. So that is what. So SQL Server in depth. So SQL Server has two concepts. One is called SQL, and we have TSQL. So these are the things that you have to cover first. And if you're not able to cover this first, at least parallelly, SQL Server morning or evening, you have to undergo this training, and after that you can plan Azure classes. Azure means I'm talking about SQL Azure. In this, the main component is called Azure Data Factory. So this is very important, and Azure Data Lake, everything will get covered. So this will be for 30 to 35 days, including two projects. Okay, you can take them parallelly or you can take them one by one. So we have SQL Server available. We don't have any live classes for the SQL Server. You can buy the videos and practice them. So we don't have any live classes. We have a video based training. You can buy videos. The videos are available in English platform, and we have for the Telugu people especially, the videos are also available from the Telugu platform. So you should be able to buy either English or Telugu videos, and the videos are going to be shared in a portal. So once you make the payment, so you can just easily understand what is SQL, what is the purpose of RDBMS, what is the purpose of queries, what is the purpose of T-SQL programming. It is not very complex, but if you wanted to get into IT industry, definitely you have to know SQL. If you wanted to understand, a SQL, Azure, and everything, definitely you have to know this. We don't have, unfortunately, SQL Server classes. You can buy SQL Telugu or English videos, and you should be able to, practice them parallelly. Then live classes you can attend with us. So daily 30 days live classes will be there. All videos are going to be shared in a portal. So daily videos are going to be shared in a portal, and the live environment is going to be showcased, and two projects are included. So you need not ask for the videos. All videos will be shared on the same day. So daily videos are going to be shared. Clear. So, and we are going to be giving you two live projects, and we are going to be giving you CV, sample CVs we will provide. And based on the sample CVs, you can prepare a CV of your own and send it for review. And interview questions and the project explanations will be covered as part of this module. Interview questions are shared, and lot of material is going to be shared by faculty Mr. Ramesh, and material of Azure going to be shared, and you will have two real-time interview questions. So everything will get shared. So SQL Azure is important when you study SQL Server. And apart from that, many people also, many companies also asking for the Power BI. If you know the Power BI, that is well and good. Power BI with the DAX. So in this, we're going to be covering and data warehousing concept as well. So you can take, SQL Server, then you can learn Power BI. After learning Power BI, if you wanted to go into SQL Azure, you can definitely, there is a chance. 30 days program we have, so you should be able to go into this, right? So we have a Power BI, and we have a DAX, and we have a data warehousing concept. So this will be for 45 classes we're going to be taking from, daily live classes will be there. The new batch is going to be starting from April 1st morning 8 o'clock IST, Indian Standard Timing. It is going to be, getting covered. So what is a Power BI? What is a DAX? If you wanted to know, we will understand as part of our demo, which is going to be happening on December, April 1st morning 8 o'clock Indian Standard Timing. So now we are also planning to start SQL Azure, class. People who know SQL Server and Power BI, definitely they can enroll for this course. And Mr. Ramesh is going to be taking care, of this course, and is going to be covering from very, very basic level to from advanced level, and two live projects are going to be included in this. Clear? So these are the topics, high level topics we have shared here, but definitely we are going to be sending a complete course content when you give your data and everything to this mobile number. Clear? So now, before going to the Azure and the cloud, let me give you what is a cloud. Okay, let me tell you what is a cloud. I will give you a couple of examples so that you will be able to understand very, very easily. Now, the first thing you have to know what is a cloud, right? So what is a cloud? I'll give you one simple example. You wanted to buy a car, or you wanted to travel from place A to place B. So if you wanted to travel from place A to place B, you have to either go by a bike or go by a car or go by something, right? So you thinking that you wanted to buy a car and you wanted to use the car for your travel. For example, wherever you wanted to go, you can use the car for your travel, right? But the question is that, so if you wanted to buy a car in India, minimum 6 lakhs to 10 lakhs rupees or 20 lakhs based on your interest, you can buy the car. The first problem is that the cost is too much high, right? Because if you wanted to buy a car, minimum it will be 5 lakhs to, maximum it can go up to crores also. But you have to invest large amount of, money you have to put it. That is expenses, right? So the second thing is that you have to buy the insurance and again you have to pay for the insurance. That is from your pocket. And again, you have to hire the driver, right? So if you know the driving well and good, if you don't know the driving, you need to, hire the driver. Every month, minimum 10,000 to 15,000 rupees, you need to pay the salaries. Clear? So first, the car is very, very costly. That is the first problem. Second problem is that you need to maintain the car, cleaning the car, every 6 months or 1 year, going for the maintenance. You have to pay again 5,000, 10,000 rupees from your pocket. In case if there is an accident happens, clear. So definitely the denting charges, painting charges, in all the charges you have to take care and it is a big headache for you, right? So maintaining a car is nothing but on-premise technologies. We're talking about two technologies here. One is called on-prem. On-prem means on-premises. So this is you're buying a own car, okay, buying a own car and maintaining, which is very very costly. So instead of your buying a own car, what you can do, you can definitely hire a car where you can just install Ola app or you can just install Uber app. You should be able to just book a cab so that the cab will come to you. So what is the advantage? You need not have huge amount of money, just pay 300 rupees, 400 rupees. If you wanted to go to Kokatapalli from your place, or if you wanted to go for 10 kilometers, pay some 100 rupees or 200 rupees or 300 rupees, pay as you use, right? So that is what it is, very very cheaper. And a driver's salary, you need not be worried. If there is a problem with the car is not starting, or it met with an accident, you need not worry about the maintenance. Everything will be managed by Ola or Uber companies. Clear? So now we are talking about one more technology. That is what is called cloud technology. That is what is called cloud web. So you're hiring a car, hire the car using a online web, right? Online portal or online app. So this is what is called cloud. Cloud means web, or you can say cloud means online. Cloud means web or cloud means online. In simple thing, cloud means rental cars. Cloud means what? Rental cars. Instead of your buying your own cars, what we are telling you don't buy your own car. That is what is called on-prem car. Instead of buying a own car, you can go in for a cloud-based technology or online app you can install like Ola or Uber. So where you can go in for the rental cars. Clear? So let us come to our software industry. Instead of you buying a hardware, you have to buy the hardware, you have to buy the software, and you have to install the software operating system, antivirus, and lot of other applications you need to buy, and somebody has to maintain, right? So you have to recruit the people, not only recruitment, so but also you need to take care of the power and secondary servers and lot of things you need to maintain. So it is a too much of headache for the companies, right? So buying a own car and maintaining the car, not so very simple. So you have to have the huge money and you have to maintain the car. If you go in for the cloud based, so if you're talking about Ola or Uber, where you should be able to hire a car. So what is the advantage? You need not have the huge money. you will be able to get whatever be the car you need. You need a Ford car, you can get it. You need a seven-seater car, you will be able to get it. You need a mini car, you will be able to get it. So based on your requirement, you will be able to get the car like that. Instead of buying the hardware, instead of buying the software and installing the software, maintaining the servers, maintaining the people is very very difficult. So instead of that, you also take a hardware and software for rental services. Clear? So that is what is called hardware and software for the rental services. This is what is called cloud-based technology. For example, I wanted to have some application to I wanted to have the database to be created. So one is that you can buy the hardware, maintain everything in your company itself. But tomorrow, if something goes wrong to the hardware, you're going to be losing the data. You're going to be losing everything, right? Again, you have to maintain a parallel hardware, and to maintain that, again, you need to have separate, software, separate cost, separate teams. It will be big headache for you. Clear? Instead of you maintaining the hardware, software, people, so what you do, you go to the companies like Ola, Uber. So these kind of companies are available where you will be able to get all the hardware and software for rental. The company is called AWS, Amazon Web Services. These are called cloud technology companies. Cloud means online. Cloud means web enabled online. So a company called AWS, Amazon Web Services. Then we have a company called Azure. This is from Microsoft, right? And we have a company called GC, Google Cloud. All the companies are going to be giving you hardware and software for rental. Clear? Instead of you're buying a hardware, you buying a software, installing the software, taking care of the hardware and software is very very difficult. So instead of you buying own car is very very tough, because you need to have huge amount of money and you have to maintain that. Instead of doing that, what normally we do, we are going to be taking the hardware and software for rental. So that is what is called cloud computing or cloud technology means. Clear? It will be very, very cheaper. It will be very, very easy for you to maintain. Tell me, so to buying a car is easy, or you install the Ola app in your mobile phone and booking a car in the Ola is very easy. Which is very, very easy? Definitely, Ola booking is very, very easy. If you have some 100, 200, 300 bucks, you should be able to go for a ride when you have a cloud platform or cloud technologies. However, you have Ola and Uber running cloud technologies where 24 by 7 responses will be there. It is completely online. You need not worry about it. It's a rental car platform, right? So however, you're going to be getting the cars for the rental the same way you will be able to get a servers for rental. Servers means hardware. If you need it, the hardware will be provided, or if they need hardware and software, that will be provided. You need not pay for complete hardware and software as you use. So based on that, you should be able to pay the amount. That is what is the beauty about it. But definitely, so cloud means a rental service. So you have to hire the server and keep all your data over there. So you can run a lot of applications. Whatever you use, only for that you need to pay. You need not pay for the entire server. So pay as you use it. That is what is the slogan. It will be very very cheaper and very very risk is completely zero. If you maintain your own technology, you have to take the risk, right? For example, I have 100 kg of gold, so I have to buy a lot of lockers. I have to put the CC camera. I have to recruit a lot of security. Even though I put a lot of things at my home, and I'll be worried a lot. Whenever I go out, I have to inform the police as well, saying that I have a lot of wealth in my home. So you have to take care. And even though I have CC camera, lockers and everything, it is too much costly for me to maintain, right? So instead of maintaining your whole hardware, lockers, so what normally we do, we can go to the bank and pay only 1,000, 2,000, or 10,000 rupees per annum. Take complete, gold, the 100 kg of gold or 1 kg of gold that you have. From your home, you're going to be transferring, you're putting the gold into a bank. Now, what happens? So the risk is transferred. You can aramly, you can easily, you can just go home. You need not install CC cameras. You need not recruit security persons. You need not install, you need not inform the police people whenever you go. So what is happened now? It is very, very easy. So because maintaining a locker, one locker cost you minimum 1 lakh if you need, cost strongest lockers. And if you recruit a lot of people for the security reasons, so again you need to pay the salaries and installing cameras. And the camera needs a lot of power. If the power goes off, you have to maintain the generator. A lot of things you have to maintain. It is very, very big headache for you. Clear? So what is the health? Sorry, what is the wealth here? The wealth is the gold, right? So for the companies, what is the wealth? Wealth is the data. So if you maintain own data, so you have to buy the hardware and everything here instead of you maintaining your own wealth. Wealth is the data for the company, and it is very, very difficult for you to maintain. So what normally we do, we hire a locker, we put the gold there. So we hire a server in the cloud platform like AWS companies, or AWS means Amazon company, Azure means from a Microsoft company. These companies are giving the services for the rental. You simply take your data. So data is the gold, right? So you have to transfer from on-premise to cloud services so that the company is going to be handling everything. So tomorrow, the banker is going to be handling your gold, your wealth, and whenever you wanted to have it, you just go there and access and get the data whatever you wanted, get that gold whatever you wanted. Otherwise, 24 by 7, the complete responsibility will be handled by the banker. So, however, the companies are managing the same way. The cloud, technology companies also maintaining your wealth. What is the wealth of the company? Wealth means data. Clear? So all the data will be maintained in the cloud service. Cloud means rental server. So this is what you need to understand. Clear? Now, Ramesh will be talking about what are the other things, and he's going to be what are the other things he's going to be introducing, and how to show the Azure portal. And he will give a brief introduction to Azure portal, how to get into this portal, and remaining stuff. It will be for 30-35 hours course. And this is what is called, what is a cloud technology and what is Azure. We have a lot of companies like AWS, we have Google Cloud, a lot of other companies also are there who are going to be giving you service for rentals. And one of the cloud platform is Azure, which is very, very easy. Many companies are using Microsoft technologies. So it is a drag and drop software, very, very easy, and anybody can learn Azure. Even though you are plus two guy, you should be able to understand Azure drag and drop software. Not much coding is involved. So Azure Data Factory, if you know it, you will have a lot of chances in the IT companies along with SQL Server and Power BI and DAX. Clear? So I'll be handing over the mic to Mr. Ramesh. Is going to be just telling you, how to, start with Azure portal. Am I clear? So thank you guys. Chain.
Oh, hi guys. So my name is Ramesh. So I have overall 10 years of experience in the IT industry, and out of 10 years I've started work like I since past 5 years I have experience on cloud technologies like Azure and Power BI. Okay, coming to Azure. Azure is a cloud platform. As mentioned by Bhaskar sir, cloud is nothing but a network where we can access different types of resources in the online itself. Okay, so Azure portal, with the help of Azure portal, we can access different types of data and we can migrate data from one source to destination. So Azure Cloud Platform contains different types of resources where we can store data or we can migrate the data. So the main advantage of Azure is it's a part of Microsoft platform. Okay, so as Microsoft is compatible to different clients and different consulting and different IT industries. Nowadays, Azure is in the trending manner as due to the connection with the Microsoft client. Okay, so coming to Azure portal explanation. Okay, Azure portal is nothing but a web application similar to Book My Show or IRCTC or some other web applications which we can access with a simple mail ID and password. So how we are opening a web application in the similar way we can access a Azure portal. So that's the reason Azure Cloud Platform is user friendly and even a single layman can understand the portal with the help of a training session. Okay, so main advantages of Azure. So at present in market we have different cloud platforms. Okay, one is Azure, another is AWS, and another is Google Cloud Platform, and one more, the latest one, which is IBM Cloud. So out of these platforms, what is the main advantage of Azure? Why clients preferring Azure as a main part for their data perspective? Okay. So first main thing was due to the connection between the Microsoft and the clients, due to like to maintain the culture with Microsoft as they are utilizing the Microsoft resources, they're getting more advantage with the help of Azure to improve more connection with the Microsoft platform. Coming to Azure advantages, so as compared with other cloud platforms, Azure is most user friendly and it contains the different types of resources apart from other cloud platforms. The count of resources which are present in Azure platform are totally high with when compared to other cloud platforms. So we can access even a small resource which is part of our local system as well with the help of Azure portal. Okay, so first advantage is pay as you go. So the main advantage of Azure portal is pay as you go, means we can pay what we are using. Okay, consider a laptop. So when you are buying a hard disk, you will buy hard disk 500 GB hard disk, and we will pay money for whole 500 GB, right? But coming to Azure portal, if we are using any storage device in Azure portal, okay, so hard disk is the physical device can be handled in our, like it will be like physical device. Okay, storage account is a part of one of the resource in Azure portal, so which is virtually controlled and handled with the help of mail ID and user, like mail ID and password login. So when we are using a mail ID or password, with the help of single mail ID and password login credentials, we can access the resources which are part of Azure. So consider storage account. Storage account is nothing but uh, similar to hard disk, which is part of our local system. But local system we will pay for whole 500 GB, right? But coming to storage account, which is part of Azure portal, the memory storage which we are using, we will pay money for that particular memory storage itself. So if we are paying 500 GB hard disk, like 5,000 as a, like as a one-time pay, we are paying the 500 GB. But if we are using only 100 GB of the hard disk, there is nothing more important there, because we are paying total money to the hard disk itself. Okay, but coming to Azure portal, just will pay the money which we are utilizing, the for the storage which we are utilizing. So the, for example, if we will pay only 1,000 rupees as we are utilizing 100 GB of storage account. So this is the main advantage for Azure portal. So how much we are utilizing, we will pay for that, like for that usage itself. Okay. So this is one of the most important advantage which Azure is holding uh, compared to other cloud platforms. Okay. Coming to second is user friendly. So as I mentioned earlier, even a layman can understand Azure as it is simple drag and drop tool for doing different types of activities. Okay, so compared to other cloud platforms, Azure portal contains the main like background platform. It will be like user friendly. So how we are utilizing a web application similar to Book My Show or IRCT in the same way, we can see the Azure portal and we can accept everything and we can analyze more details with the help of Azure portals compared to other cloud platforms. Okay, so these are the main advantages of Azure when compared to other cloud platforms. Okay, now how to log in Azure portal? So here, so as this is how I logged in, but now I will explain how to log in Azure portal. Okay. So how we are opening a web application like Book My Show or IRCT. For example, you can consider Book My Show. So simply we will click the Book My Show and it will go to the Book My Show portal, and we will give the username and password so that the portal related to that particular username and password it will display, and we can access the data which is allowed to the particular username and password. Okay, in the same way for Azure as well, we have the URL that is nothing but portal.azure.com. Okay, so this is the main URL to access a Azure portal with the help of mail ID and password or user ID and password. So when you are opening a web application in the same way, we can open Azure as a web application with the help of this URL. Okay. So after like entering this URL, just I will go to click enter. So it will directly ask for the login credentials. So with which we are going to access the particular Azure portal. Okay. So let's consider our whole laptop. Okay. So our whole laptop will be open. It's without any username or password, or like we can directly open it by starting it, right? But coming to Azure portal, project person needs to give the access to the particular mail ID and password so that the resources which are part of that particular project we can access with our mail ID and password. Okay, so if any data present in my laptop, it can be utilized by another person by giving the laptop physically to that particular person, right? But cloud platform is nothing but we can access overall any resource, okay, by giving access to a single mail ID and password so that even a person who is part of another country or another state from different locations can access by simply logging in with the username and password. So this is like main difference between a on-premises network and cloud platform. So you can consider on-premises network is nothing but our local laptop, and cloud platform you can consider the web application which is Azure portal. Okay, so even any person can access the data or resources related to a project with the help of user ID and password. Okay, now when I click portal.azure.com, it will go to the Microsoft portal so that it will ask for mail ID and password with which we can log into the particular portal. Okay, so use another thing. So here you need to give the mail ID. Okay, so with the help of mail ID, we can log into the portal. So as we don't have any mail ID related to Azure portal, first we need to create a free portal. Okay, but don't think that everywhere we need to create a free portal. As our learning perspective, we will create a free portal. Okay, but coming to once you deployed into a particular project, they will give the access credentials to you directly, so that the mail ID which provided by the client, with the help of that mail ID you can access the portal directly itself. Okay, so at present I already have a free portal, but in further classes I will explain how to create a free portal. But for now I'm just opening the portal with the help of one mail ID. Okay, so I need to give the mail ID and just I need to click next. Okay, so the portal will be open. The portal related to that particular mail ID, it will be open. So this is how a Azure portal will look like. But don't think that with the help of user ID and password, with the help of any username and password, we can log into Azure portal. We need to get the access to the particular resource group, so that we can control the resources which are part of portal with by given username and password. So this is the like main process how we will log in to the portal.azure.com. So as I mentioned earlier, portal.azure.com is nothing but a web application where we can access resources with the help of uh, given accessible resources. Okay, so this is the things. So coming to portal explanation, this is how a Azure portal can I'm sorry, Azure portal will look like. Okay, so in Azure portal we have different types of resources. Okay, so you can compare with a local system. Okay, local system will be like Azure portal, and the parts which are present in local system, these parts will be like resources which are part of Azure. Okay, so resources we need to maintain in a single resource group. So resource group. Resource group is nothing but group of resources where the particular project is related to. Okay. So before going to resource group, I like how the project is related. For example, you can consider GSK as a client. Okay. So GSK, it will contains the data or the resources where we need to give access to the particular things. So we are building a project into one resource group. Okay, so that the project related resources. So for example, you can consider uh, we are using in our laptop we are using local disk D as a storage device. Okay, SQL which is installed in our local system as database. Okay, we are just moving the data in the store like local disk D to SQL device, SQL database. Okay, so this is one project, right? So here what we are using, SQL database and local disk D. So these two are will be resources of one project, right? So these two will come under single resource group which is related to that project. So here resource group is nothing but the resources which are related to particular project will come under one resource group. So here it will contain group of resources. So as I mentioned earlier, username and password, with the help of username and password, if we are logging into Azure portal, the Azure admin will give access of resource group to that particular username and password, so that if we are logging with in the username and password, the resource group which is assigned to our username and password, we can access by simply logging into the Azure portal. Okay. Uh, this is a resource group. Coming to resources. So here we have the search resources option, right? So here in further classes, I will explain what are the different types of resources, and like I will explain one after another different types of resources, so that you can understand which type of resources will be used in the live project. Okay. So if we are selecting a resource, here it will go to the particular resource and we can create the resource in our portal itself. Okay. Here it's nothing but just searching and opening the resource. But here this is the main option where we will use to create a resource. Okay, so here it's showing the common resources which are utilized in the Azure portal. But if we are going to all services, it will open the things which are which are part of Azure portal as a resource. Okay, let's consider. See here, it is showing category wise resources, right? So let's consider storage. Storage, by the name itself, you can think that where we are going to store. Okay, so how the local disks which are part of our on-premises, that is a storage device, right? So in the same way, Azure portal contains different storage services which are part of our Azure portal cloud platform. So with the help of this Azure portal storage accounts, we can store different types of data. Okay, coming to data, we have three different types of data. One is structured, another is semi-structured, and unstructured. Okay, structured data. Structured data is nothing but which is in the form of complete structure, like tables. Okay, so the table it will contains the column headers and data, everything. So it will be in the form of structure, right? Coming to semi-structure, which are simple files like Excel files, JSON files, or normal files. So you can simply download the sample files and we can see what type of files are it will be. Unstructured data. Okay, so it will come under big data analytics, which is a main important thing in Azure portal. So big data analytics is nothing but where we are utilizing the unstructured data like images. Okay, so let's consider one example, that is if you are seeing any like for example, you can consider a watch which you are want to buy, and if you are seeing in a Flipkart or an Amazon application, uh, the same advertisement you can see in Facebook, which or another like other social media portals, where you are opening your credentials and you are seeing just news feeds. Okay, that is nothing but big data analytics, means the things which you are showing in which you are seeing or which you are preferring in one web application. So to enable a person to buy the particular product, so they are just tempting you to you by giving the same like watch or any advertisement in the social media where you are opening with the same credentials. So this is the main big data analytics thing, which is part of unstructured data. And one more example is, you can observe in Google Photos. So it will show a person image, and if you click that person image, it will open the photos related to that particular person. So with the help of unstructured data, big data analytics, the data which is related to that particular person, it's displaying automatically at the back end. Data is nothing but the images related to that particular person. So these are the different forms and different analytics which are part of unstructured data. Now let's come to Azure portal. So there are different types of storage accounts which we can access in the portal itself. And not only storage accounts, we have different databases as well. So we have different databases like PostgreSQL, Azure SQL, Oracle SQL. Every database we can access with the help of our Azure portal. So don't think the resources which are part of Azure portal itself we can access. We can access the on-premises resources as well in Azure portal. So nothing but Azure Data Factory. Coming to Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory is one of the resource of Azure portal. So the main advantage of Azure Data Factory is we can copy the data from one location to another location. So ADF is nothing but an ETL tool. So as I mentioned, if we have data in our local disk D, and if we want to move the data to cloud or any database, okay, we will use ETL tool. Extract, transform, load. So ADF, Azure Data Factory, is an ETL tool which will extract the data from source, okay, and transform the data and load to the data, load to the destination. So my local disk D, it will be the source. So it will take the data, extract the data from local disk D, and it will do required transformations, and it will load to target database. So in ADF, we can access all types of resources which are present in local system or cloud. So we can access our local data itself with the Azure Data Factory, and we can copy the data to cloud platforms. So this is a basic understanding of ADF and Azure portal. So in further classes, we can go in-depth explanation of Azure portal and Azure resources and ADF as well. Out of our sessions which are part of Azure portal, so it will contains basic understanding of Azure portal and Azure Data Factory, which is an ETL tool, and the scenarios which are covered, a part of my experience, the live scenarios, and two live projects which are part of a big client. So I'm going to explain those two live projects as well.